Good morning, and welcome to episode 119 of Getting Rich. I'm your host, Rich Checkan, president of Asset Strategies International, and today is Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. Well, the tensions between the U.S. and China over Taiwan and between the U.S. and Russia over the Ukraine continue. Since the U.S. has weaponized the U.S. dollar, both enemies and friends have been looking for ways around the U.S. dollar hegemony. Russia and China have found ways to do so. They've struck deals with the Saudis to pay for oil in yuan going forward. The Russians are looking for payment back in a loan from Bangladesh for a nuclear reactor they helped build, and they've just agreed to pay that back in yuan as well. So again, friends and enemies are being pushed out of the dollar, and that's starting to weigh on the U.S. dollar's strength worldwide and the belief that at some point we're going to give up world reserve currency status. On a domestic note, today is tax day +1. I could feel the collective sighs of relief from everyone now that, for the most part, taxes have been filed. I know there may be extensions and so forth out there, but hopefully now you know where your finances are and you know how much money you have freed up to buy gold and silver at this point. I got to tell you, tax day would be a lot better for me if I felt that the money was being spent well. My money, my hard-earned money, was being spent well. I don't think that's the case. As a result, the markets continue to show increased volatility, up one day, down the next. We saw that here just the past few days with precious metals. Gold and silver were down at the end of last week, being sold off like they were no longer of any import. Yesterday we saw them shooting back up again, gold back over $2,000 an ounce, silver back over 25. This morning they're right back down again, so that volatility continues. Let's take a look at the prices. This week gold is at $1,972.60 an ounce. That's down 1.8% from $2,009.20 last week. Silver down 1.7%, slightly performing a little better than gold, down to $24.81 today. That's versus $25.23 last week. Platinum is up 6.1% to $1,075 an ounce from $1,013 last week. And palladium is the big winner, up 10.5% this week to $1,693 an ounce from $1,532 even last week, with silver slightly outperforming gold, i.e. not falling as far as gold did. The gold-silver ratio is down slightly from 79.91 last week to 79.79 today. And the U.S. dollar virtually unchanged, although it was lower most of the week in the 101 range on the U.S. dollar index. Today it's at 102.05 from 102.03 last week. These ebbs and flows will continue. Make no mistake about it. I do believe we're ready to launch on both gold and silver. So anytime you see a pullback like we're seeing this morning, you need to take advantage of it. That's where your money is going to be well spent. That's where you're going to protect your purchasing power going forward. That's where you're going to be able to keep what's yours. To help guide you along, give you some insights, just everybody's reminded that tonight is our second quarter On the Move webinar that's hosted by myself and the incomparable Adrian Day of Adrian Day Asset Management, and our guest is the incomparable Doug Casey. We're going to cover everything that's going on in the markets. We're going to take a look ahead. We might even take a look at what Doug is reading here lately. If you haven't signed up already, go ahead and do so. As always, go ahead and subscribe and like our YouTube channel. Send us your comments and questions. Sign up for our social media and our newsletters, both monthly and twice weekly. And please, don't ever forget that getting rich starts with keeping what's yours.